Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Karting with Chris. Today's video is going to be the Spring 4 final race. Now, if you haven't seen my last video, I recommend watching it. I qualified P2 and I finished in second, so that was my best race so far. I was fairly consistent throughout that race, or consistent enough because I held my position. But that was 8 laps. This is twice a lap at 16 laps, and hopefully we can get that podium because we haven't had one. And you know, I've always been complaining about getting one, and this is my best shot in my opinion. So for the final race, instead of giving us one warm-up lap, they decided to give us 2 warm-up laps because the chicane right up here is the chicane of death, commonly known, and off to the right here, that's where a lot of people would like to run off if they ever screwed it up, and it became an absolute mud pit. So if you ever go off there, whenever you come on track, your tires are completely screwed for the next couple of corners. So I'm going to skip ahead because you don't want to see boring warm-up laps, and I'll see you on the other side. So let me give you the driver lineup real quick. The person on pole is a guy named Ethan. I'm on second. In third is our good old friend Colton. And in fourth, I don't know who that is. But in fifth is Adrian. He's really quick. And then another person we need to note in this video is my brother. He's starting in 10th. So these are all the people we need to really know going into this race. So coming down the back straight here, we're going to look for the flagman on the right hand side. And as soon as we see him wave green, we're going to punch the gas. So we're looking at the flagman, he waves green, and we're good to go. So right off the bat, Colts is on our inside. He secures second place really nicely. He held it nice around that corner. We're going to look behind us. There's an absolute wreck fest. Luckily, I wasn't in that mess, and nor was my brother. And we're going to go down the front straight here, and we're going to look at this pileup of people on the right-hand side. I think that Colton and Ethan thought this was a red flag situation, and so going down here, they raise their hands, they're backing off, and I'm like, oh, what do I do? I can't pass during yellow. That gives Adrian an opportunity from behind to catch up and go for the move through turn 3, and now he's in third place. But hopefully we can, stay on Adrian's bumper and really, catch up to Ethan and Colton up ahead. So within the first lap, I mean, we've already lost 2 places. I kind of want to blame it on that whole incident back there, but it's really entirely kind of my fault. But a little confused at the beginning, but it doesn't mean it's the end of the race. They're still within reach of us. Adrian has pulled away a little bit, so he's a little better than me on colder tires. But watch what happens going through the chicane up here. I just unsettled the cart completely, go into the grass, and like I said before, it is a complete mud pit over here, and I go sideways through turn 3, and that has allowed 3 people from behind to catch up, and now I have lost the top 3 people. So this race, within the first 2 laps, has just gone to crap.
Oh, poop.
So at this point in the race, I'm just going to try and keep down the qualifying laps, try and set the fastest laps as I can, because even though I did go off and Adrian and Colton and Ethan are far ahead, maybe I can pull away from these guys and catch up to them. It's a bit of wishful thinking, but it could happen. So I'm still not going to give up. I never give up, and we're going to keep trying and hopefully get a podium. So looking in the top left corner, we can see my brother is now past the person in 5th, and now he's in 5th. And we got a Hoyles 4-5 right here, and hopefully we can work together and catch up to the top runners. Any single time my brother is in a race with me, it's always good, and he always brings a lot of good things to the table. So hopefully we can catch up to those guys in front. Now coming through these last couple of corners, I tap the back of my helmet, just telling him, hey, don't pass me, let's work together. And at this point in the race, he does agree with me, but if I screw up at any point, I know he's going to pass me, because he doesn't like to mess around with stuff like that. So going through the chicane, we're going to learn our lesson, not go off, and we're going to stay in 4th. Now there are still people behind Ben, and they're going to tag along with us, but the plan is Ben and I pull away from them. Little easier said than done. Now Ben usually is faster than what he's been doing today. He's had kind of a rough weekend on this day, His kart was not really set up for this. He was on a double hard axle, and it just rained, so he was kind of slipping and sliding everywhere. But kudos to him. He was able to weave around that incident at the beginning, and now we're trying to catch up to those podium guys. So going through the chicane up here, I didn't quite screw it up, but I did go a little slow through there, and Ben was like, "That's enough, Chris. I'm gonna get in the front. You know, you push me. I'm sick and tired of you screwing up." And so, I agree with that. If I have him in front, I'll have a little less pressure, and hopefully we can catch up to those guys in front. So going up into this braking zone right here, I have a total of 0 laps behind my brother, and so I didn't really know where his braking points were, so I braked crazy early, and as you can see, it was way too early, and I should have trusted him. I should have trusted him that he would have braked nice and late, but next time around I'm gonna have to catch up in the braking zone. Going through the chicane here, you can see I just caught up to him just a little bit, and then going through 3, you can see he's sliding, and that's what his axle will do for him. I noticed he took a different line through 2. I might have to check that out next time I'm doing backwards. And then coming on the back straight here, we're gonna watch how much I catch him in the braking zone here. I'm gonna brake nice and late, nice and hard, no messing around. We're gonna catch him right here, and look, going into turn 7 right here, we're gonna push him. So we have caught up to him now, and I'm not backing off anymore. I'm just gonna stay with him. I know he can handle it. He's given me the signal. I push him down, going through the chicane. Stay right on his bumper. I don't have any problem driving close to him. So if you look in the top left corner behind me, you can see that there's one person trying to catch up to Ben and I. And if Ben and I start passing each other, he will catch up to us. So, we're going to try and keep it, drafting together. But at this point in the race, I decided, hey, those guys in first, second, and third, they're way too far. This is now turned into a battle for fourth. Unless one of those guys get penalties, which is highly unlikely because they're pretty consistent drivers. I doubt they'd get penalties. But, we're still going to try and push Ben. He makes a mistake there. I dip a wheel, and that allows the guy behind us to kind of catch up. But as you can see, he's still a couple kart lengths behind. So in order to really get in that draft, you have to be within a kart length. I think 1 kart length is a good rule of thumb. And right here, I'm not within a kart length of Ben. And look, there's no draft. So you see me raising my hand. There's someone off in the grass right there, just warning the people behind in case they can't see them. And, kind of reminder like, hey, you can't pass during yellow. So Ben goes a little sideways through 7 here. We've caught up, and now we're within that draft. And watch what happens. I just, instantly, catch up to him. I did push him through the chicane to kind of make him a little nervous. I would never push him off track. That's mean. But, if you just give him a little tap going to the chicane, it kind of makes him a little nervous. So coming out of this last corner, I say, screw it. I'm, enough behind Ben. I'm going to, just go for the move. I'm going to try and brake a little early to prevent the cutback, but he just nailed his braking point. I did not phase him, and now he's pulled away, and the guy behind is actually caught up because of that. So, if you're going to go for a move, make it stick. Ben gives me a thumbs up there. Don't know why, but I give him a thumbs up back. You can see I caught up to him a bunch through that chicane right there. I dip a wheel into the grass, again losing time. The guy behind is now caught up, so I'm giving the guy behind me a draft, and Ben doesn't have a draft, so the two of us working together will catch up to Ben. But that also means we brought a third player into this battle of 4th place. So now that there's a third person in this fight for 4th, I'm going to try and pass Ben, as soon as possible, because my theory is, if I pass him, maybe the guy behind will start battling with Ben, and then I'll pull away. Because usually I leave it to the last couple of laps, but, I'm just going to go for it. So going down here, I'm going to pause the video right here. I'm just going to say, kids, if you're watching, do not try this at home. I'm about to go 2 abreast through the chicane of death.
Please, don't try anything you're about to see at home. We're what you call experts.
So going through the chicane, I've got someone behind me pushing me. Ben and I going side by side. I have a bad exit. Ben dives on my inside going into 3, and we all survived. So yes, it is possible to survive the chicane of death, but it is also extremely hard. So coming down here, we're going to pause the video yet again, and we're going to look right here at this guy in the flag tower waving a flag. Now, if you don't know anything about racing or karting, this flag means pass. Let the person behind you pass. So Ben's getting blue flag. The people obviously think he is lap traffic.
Blue flag, I mean, it can't be true, can it?
And, I'm going to go for the move, because if he doesn't let me by and they see that, then they'll black flag him. So we're going down the back straight here. We're going to go for the move, and we're going to brake nice and late, park it on the apex so we can't get the undercut, and we have secured 4th place. Now I tap the back of my helmet saying, hey, you probably don't want to fight with that guy behind you, so let's work together and pull ahead. And so going through the chicane up here, we're going to look behind me, and Ben kind of screwed up the chicane right here, and we pulled away, and now, Ben and that other guy, as he goes sideways through 3, now Ben and that other guy have to work together to try and catch up to me. So now we're back where we started in on the 2nd lap. We're in 4th place. We got Ben and some other guy trying to catch up to me, but they have a draft and I don't. So I got to be as consistent as possible. This race has been, one of my worst, I'd got to say, because I've been so inconsistent, and I had track position at one point and I totally messed things up. So I'm really beating myself up during this race, but I just got to keep my head down, keep pushing, and just try and finish the race out, because races like these, you can learn from your mistakes and get better. So I'm going to skip ahead because after this point, Ben and that other guy didn't catch up, and it's kind of boring, and I don't want to give you guys a boring race. So we're on the last lap here. This is the last corner, and finishing in 4th. Again, if you think about it, 4th out of 16th is not bad, but considering where I started and how I did in the pre-final, really beating myself up. But overall, good racing. I mean, I'd rather have a good race over a boring race. So when Ben and I were battling, that was really fun, and he really enjoyed it too. So before I sign off, I'd like to show you this right here. This is the NTK point system. I'm not quite sure how it works, so don't ask me. But if you look right here, Ben is at 830 points and I'm at 824 points. So we are literally 6 points away. Normally I don't care about this sort of stuff, but I like beating my brother, so I'm gonna really try hard and beat him at that. But that's all I have for today. If you liked the video, please subscribe. If you have any questions, suggestions, or opinions, please comment below. Thank you guys for watching, and have a good day.